modernism, jazz, surrealism, penicillin, talking pictures. These iconic inventions represent some of the biggest breakthroughs of the 1920s, and we still feel their impacts today. The Golden Decade, or the Roaring Twenties, was a period of cultural and economic flourishing following the end of the Great War. World War II was yet to come. The first year of that decade saw the establishment of the League of Nations, when 41 countries met in Geneva on November 15, 1920. The League of Nations attempted to realize the ambition of promoting international peace and security through its main bodies, the Assembly, the Council, and the Secretariat. It created commissions and committees to address technical challenges, such as the rights of refugees and stateless persons, the rights of children, arms control, and initiatives to end slavery. The League's activities eventually extended to an unforeseen mission, seeds of which can be found in earlier initiatives in education, peace activism, intellectual rights, and discourses on the spirit of internationalism, intellectual cooperation. The adoption of intellectual cooperation as a concrete task of the League paved the way for the creation of the Committee on Intellectual Cooperation, which met for the first time in Geneva in 1922. Committee members were to include both men and women. Notable figures included Marie Skłodowska-Curie, Albert Einstein, Kristine Bonnevie, Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, and Henri Bergson. Recognizing the need for a permanent secretariat with dedicated funds and staff to execute its program, in 1923, the League accepted an offer of assistance from the French government. The proposal was adopted on the 23rd of September 1924, setting in motion the creation of the International Institute of Intellectual Cooperation, which was inaugurated in Paris on January 16, 1926. The Institute engaged many of the brightest minds from across the globe, including Thomas Mann, Victoria Ocampo, Rabindranath Tagore, Gabriela Mistral, Stefan Zweig, Wu Zihu, and many more. The directors of the Institute consisted of a succession of well-known French figures, including Julien Luchaire, Henri Bonnet, and Jean-Jacques Mailloux. Member states established national commissions for intellectual cooperation and appointed delegates to represent their interests within the Institute. The national commissions were a key conduit of action, expanding in number and role over the years. In its 2 decades of existence, the Institute strove to create the conditions for peace and understanding through studies and publications, conferences and gatherings of intellectuals and specialists, and research on normative instruments and rights. It promoted moral disarmament and supported the development of higher education, the mass media, literature and the arts, the sciences, and the preservation and protection of cultural heritage. In 1946, UNESCO inherited the archives of the Institute, including its publications. In 2017, the archives of the Institute were included in the UNESCO Memory of the World Register. The legacy of the International Institute of Intellectual Cooperation endures today in the work of UNESCO, the United Nations educational, scientific and cultural organization. 100 years later, the ideas and initiatives of the Institute continue to resonate, sparking profound investigation and growing ever deeper roots as we move into the future.